The Department of Education has a number of capital improvement projects planned for the summer break. The CIPs are funded through more than $50 million in American Recovery and Reinvestment Act grants. But that money does have an expiration date on it, and the funds need to be encumbered by the end of this fiscal year, which means signed and uncontested contracts must be awarded. Contract protests could cause the department to lose $2.5 million in funding if they're not settled quickly. And a public law recently passed by the legislature to expedite the process might not apply, since the protests were filed back in January.
Unfortunately, the OPA has determined that this particular protest, because it started before the law was passed, it's my understanding they're not entertaining the use of expedited procedures.
With hearings on the matter scheduled for July, Interim Superintendent Talene Titano hopes the contracts can be processed in time to meet the deadline. And if the OPA doesn't rule in favor of the department,
I suppose one of the outcomes could be that the OPA requires us to go back out on a bid. So July, August. It would be cutting it close, but we could get that encumbered if she acts quickly.
The contracts currently held up in protests are for structural repairs and roof coatings at 10 of the island's northern schools. Luckily for the department, most of the CIP projects planned for the summer break are more certain, including structural repairs and roof coatings in a number of central and southern schools. Construction for these projects is expected to begin as early as next month. Titano says a letter of intent to award was also issued last week for contracts to renovate STEM classrooms at Untalon Middle School and George Washington High School. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. Titano says the renovations for these classrooms should begin next month.
We hope to start having meetings with our principals to let them know what the construction schedules will be over the summer, and we're certainly hoping to have a large bulk of the work done. I think one of the projects that we're a little bit concerned about is the STEM project at GW, because it is going to involve taking several classrooms offline, and we'll be working very closely with the contractor to make sure that those classrooms are done in time for school to start.
Contracts have already been executed for fire alarm installations and electrical upgrades at a number of schools in the north and central parts of the island, and bidding has been opened for other fire and electrical contracts, as well as contracts for restroom renovations and door and window repairs at a number of schools. The fiscal year ends September 30th. Betsy Brown, PNC News.